I started school very early.
Okay.
Very early. I started school in 1952.
Wow.
And I was born in 1946.
Wow.
In fact, I was in the
So
farm.
you can look towards it, sir.
Yes, I was born in 1946, July 24. I started school in 1952. In fact, they started 2 weeks before I started. So I was in the village.
At John Wesley School or?
I was studying in Wesley School, Isara.
Okay.
It was in Okeoja at that time.
Exactly.
So they started about 2 weeks before I joined them. I was very fortunate. I started doing well right from primary one. Right from primary one.
I think it's a DNA genetically.
I believe so.
The people where you were, sir. The people in that area.
From 1952, I remember that I read the Alawiye Apa Kini fully, and I started Alawiye Apa Kejì, and I got to Ẹ̀kọ́ Kejìlá in the main book of class 1, no man by infant class 1.
Okay.
Then primary 2 is called infant class 2. So when I was in the primary school, my father was always teaching me to read the Alawiye at home.
Yes, sir.
And then we come and read it in the class. And Mr. Shitu from Ilorin was our headmaster.
Wow.
His sister, Bolande Shitu, was the one that came first in primary 1, and I came first. I came second. I'm fairly lucky with education. So went through up to standard 1 in 1954. 52, primary 1, 53, primary 2, standard 1, 54. Wow. We were in Okeoja then.
Yes, sir.
But when I got to, when we moved to the Wesley School in Okebola, Young Okebola,
Yes, sir.
that was in 1954. So I was in standard 2. So by 55, it became primary 3. Primary 3. So eventually, by 1958, I got to primary 6. So we spent 7 years in the primary school. Then I went to the modern school, which was Anglican Secondary Modern School, Isara.
Yes, sir.
That was the higher level of schooling in Isara then.
Yes, sir.
So I went there, and Mr. Kilaja was our headmaster. And I enjoyed my modern school.
Yes, sir.
We were very well taught. After Mr. Kilaja, who went to further education, when Mr. Shokefu was my teacher, and Shokefu really liked me. I was brilliant, but very young. Shokefu really liked me, and he was the one who introduced us to Wesley College Ibadan. So, and 3 of us from that school, from Anglican Secondary Modern School Isara, were admitted to Wesley College. In fact, 4 of us went for the interview. 3 of us were taken. The 3 of us who were taken were Methodists.
Wow.
The 4th of us was Anglican, but he was not. He was the 4th
Yes,
in ranking,
yes, sir.
so he was dropped. If he was a Methodist, he probably would have been taken, because I think that was Otuba Francis Banwo, who eventually became Commissioner for Education in Ogun State.
Okay.
He went to Wesley College. He joined us later.
Okay.
And in Wesley College, we were taught mathematics, we were taught general science,
Okay.
general science, chemistry, general science, physics, general science, biology, and then mathematics. 3 teachers taught us general science. So we were really exposed
exactly
to science.
Yes, sir.
But because we are in a engineering college, we couldn't do physics, chemistry, biology. So we did the primary school in Ishara. Then the modern school, St. Peter's Anglican Secondary Modern School. It's usually called Anglican Secondary Modern School Ishara. That was the highest level of education. But we were very well taught. Our first headmaster was Mr. Esu Akilaja, then Mr. M.O.F. Shokefu. He was from Agoiwoye. He was the one who introduced us to teacher training colleges. So we got just get forms, which we got St. Andrew's College Oyo, Wesley College Ibadan, and South University College Ota. We went for all that. I was fortunate that I was called for interview in all the 3. So, but we 3 were admitted. Myself, my half brother, Professor Soyibo, is now late. So, and then very Reverend Dr. Adesimibanwo. 3 of us went to West College. We 4 went for the interview, but 3 Methodists were taken. The 4th, who was an Anglican, must have passed, but they didn't want to take all of us. But eventually, he came. It was Otoba Francis Banwo. He just died recently. He was commissioner in the Ogun State government. So his brother too also went to Wesley College. Lai Banwo is a medical doctor. He's also Anglican. So in Wesley College Ibadan, we were taught general science. Like I said, general science physics, general science chemistry, general science biology, and mathematics. So because we just spent 3 years, we are not able to cover everything as we will do in secondary school, but we cover enough for us to move forward. One of the foremost professors of mathematics, Professor Lubumo, was a Wesley College product, and he became professor of mathematics in July. He was my professor when I went there, and I went through the long book, teachers grade 2, NCE. My NCE was in physics, maths, physics, chemistry, and usually with physics it is better to take mathematics. But I chose to take physics chemistry because in my O level, which would sit after grade 2, I had A in physics, B in chemistry, B in biology. So that's why I just took A, B. And my mathematics was D. My Yoruba was D. And my English was O. O is the last grade, it's called ordinary pass. It's the equivalent of 6 in school certificate. So I passed all my O level at once. And with that, I went to NCE and I just chose physics chemistry because I had A in one, B in the other. And but when we got to the NCE, we were told that to do physics, you also did mathematics. And I was the best student at that time. I won the provost prize. I was the best NCE student. I won the provost prize. And I was able to do that because I had already had a teacher training background. So in my teaching practice, I had the best result. And in the physics chemistry class, I was the only person that came from teacher training background. And I was always beating my classmates, and some of them don't like me because I was the only one that is not from secondary school background. I was teacher training background, I was beating all of them. And when it comes to practical teaching, because I have that thing, I was the best. So I then won the provost prize. So I took the O level. I went to read mathematics for the A level by the correspondence. I took rapid results college in by correspondence in Britain.
Yes,
And I then got CC. C in pure maths, C in applied maths. I didn't take physics because I said it would disturb me in something I'm trying to read.
Okay.
Because I read mathematics at home myself.
Okay.
So I then went to UI. By that time, I had married with NCE. I had a son. My wife, who you know,
Yes, sir.
and was at home taking care of the home for me. And then when I then came out of with first class, that opened the way for me.
Yeah.
So I then got a job in the Center for Management Development in Lagos as a research as a research assistant.
CMD, since that time. Okay.
Yes. As a research, yes, it's a very long time. As a research assistant, I went to the university 72 to 75.
Wow.
So I went and I graduated at 29. I was born in 1946. And I then finished at 75. At that time, 30 is the maximum age you don't go to. So I was caught up in the youth service. So I went to serve in Oron. Present, it was in the southeastern state then.
Yeah.
But it's now in Akwa Ibom State. So I served in their theater college Oron. I taught mathematics. So and then also taught physics in another secondary school called Birihani. They didn't have a graduate teacher, so I was going to teach. I wasn't taking any pay for it, but I went to teach them. So I was the one that set up their place for practicals for school certificates.
Yes, sir.
So and I read that and God repaid me. So
1 million.
okay,
Okay.
getting a good job. So I got a good job in Center for Management Development, and then at that time, as a research assistant, Nigeria was very rich then. that was in 1976. So by 77, I went abroad to do a Master of Science in Management in MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And I went with my wife.
One of the foremost.
It's one of the foremost, but it was tough. Very tough for me. Because for their MBA, they call it Master of Science. Everything you do at MIT is science.
Yes.
So Master of Science in Management. Master of Science in Management. And because it's equivalent of it's MBA, but they call it everything in MIT Master of Science. So it was tough because there were part of our class in our class who were assistant professors with a different background, not management. And management allows them to earn good salary. They were competing. They were in the same class with us. And in America, the grade on the curve is how they score. They would have scored 100%. I had only first degree. Some already had masters, and some already have PhD. So the grade of the curve, I will get a 10%, and I will be given a B, because of a lot of people have scored 100%.
Yes.
And I was humbled. I told myself, Doyin, you are a national champion. You are not a global champion. Just take what you are doing. And MIT, being what it is, many of the things that we did were extremely on the curve, very new. The area of operational research that I wrote my master's thesis on is called multi-criteria programming. Linear programming has one objective, but multi-criteria programming has several objectives. And one of the methods of multi-criteria programming was called group programming. So for my master's, I did a literature review on multi-criteria programming. It was a literature review, and the title is approaches and methods of multi-criteria programming. So we then came back home in 1979. Yes, my wife and my 3 children went with me.
Yes,
my first child and my 2 girls. The youngest was about 1 year plus. So he was born in December and they came in October. Okay. So he was 1 year and 10 months when they came. Okay. So she had to be at home with the mother. The mother cannot do anything because she was too young. By the time that we can take her in in the daycare at about 3.
Yes, sir.
And she was under that. My wife couldn't do anything, so she had to take care of her. And MIT was, like I said, it was tough, but I survived.
Exactly. But you still say you scored 80%.
Yeah, I would score 88%, and they will give me a B because other people have scored. Whereas in UI here, once you score 70%, it's an A.
It's an A, yeah.
So that's called fixed standard. This one is not fixed standard. So it depends on how they perform. But like I said, I told myself, Doyin, you are a national champion, you are not a global champion. So I used that to comfort myself. But it paid me in the end. So when I then came home and I wanted to do a PhD part-time, at that time I was sent to the US free. Government paid for me, paid my salary, and they paid my allowance there.
Wow.
But that was the time Nigeria started having problems. Oil problem started, and they stopped all those things.
Wow.
And it was under Obasanjo. Wow. So, but it was a good experience for me because when I then got home, I had known some lecturers from UI. They have been coming to consult for us about 1 year in Center for Knowledge Development. I had known one Professor Soyibo. So I then wrote him when I was in the US whether I could come and do a PhD part-time in economics because that's the one that's next, very close to management.
Okay.
And I was lucky. God smiled on me. They were going to start an MBA. I just came back. I came back in 77 and 78. We were going to 77. I worked for 1 year. By 80, they were going to start an MBA. I worked for 1 year there. And I was lucky. The director, one Dr. Udo Uduaka. And because I had only lived in the Cross River State, where we now have Cross River and Akwa Ibom. Akwa Ibom was where I staff was, and it was in Orong. I had some knowledge of ethnic Ibibio. So I would always speak Ibibio to him. He was an Anan man. He was for the Korepene, the director. And God smiled on me. Just released me. Because one of the objectives of Center for Management Development is to help management development institutions. I was just released to come and build management development institution, and they are just starting MBA. I had a master's, and I then enrolled for part-time PhD. I was teaching and I was doing a PhD. And the area of management that I will do, multi-career program that I told you, is growth programming, several goals, several objectives. So I had to buy the book, read it. My supervisor later became Minister of Health, Professor Isara-Remo. Isara-Remo. He later became Minister of Health. He was my supervisor. I taught myself growth programming by reading the book My supervisor taught himself by reading the book. So things that I should have been taught, we taught ourselves. And then I developed the model. A group program approach to academic resource allocation. A group programming approach to academic resource allocation. That was the title. And I did it. I couldn't solve it in Nigeria. At that time, they were using cards.
Yes.
I had to go to the US to one professor. I forget why it was.
A white man.
It was a Korean.
Okay.
It looked like Chinese.
Okay.
Yes. Why should I forget the name of the part? It was University of Nebraska Lincoln. University of Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska. Lincoln, Nebraska. He was Professor. Oh my God. I will remember his name.
Okay.
So I then went there to solve it and came back. By the time I was coming back, I had written the thesis. I came back with written thesis. I then got it. He said it is too early. I finished it in 1979. They said it is too early. That I should defend it in 1980. I then defended it in 1980. It's January 6, 1980. So that's how I got the PhD. And over time, we started doing research, writing proposals, and because of my mathematical background, they will call me and they will say I will do this and do that. Things they ask me to do, I don't know it, but I will go and read it. They didn't know. I built up myself,
Yes, sir.
and that was it.
Because I saw while you were doing the research on this,
Yes.
I saw you also consulted for many of these World Bank, all these.
Yes, I did a lot of
You
that.
consulted for many of
Yes.
these.
Where did you see that?
And my background is computer science.
Okay. So I
Yes,
was fortunate, extremely fortunate. I can go and show you my thesis and my thesis in the masters and the PhD thesis, the upstairs in my when we finish this, I will show them to you. I was just fortunate. God, Providence smiled, and I have been given a very good wife who struggled with me. She struggled with me. We built ourselves. We went together to the US. She became a beautician. They call it cosmetology there.
Okay. Yes.
Cosmetology. You know the Americans?
Yes, sir.
She became a cosmetologist. So, and it changed our lives entirely.
Wow.
Entirely. So when she became here, she had a spot in the US, in the UCH, taking care of women of their hair. They'll come here, and she was extremely creative. And we also fortunate with all our children. So I made effort in so many areas. Like I said, when there's this, in some of the areas that I was lucky to do was in the area of health. I did the National Health Accounts of Nigeria. That is like the GDP of health. So I did it for about 10 years, about 11 years consecutively. I had grants and I raised people. I raised people. Because I had done national health accounts, when they were starting something called National Transfer Account, which was begun in University of Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii. I was invited because I have done national health accounts. This is how wealth, money in the economy is made and spent and saved over years in each country. It is close to, it is similar to national health account. National health account is sectoral, it's on health. Because of our work in national health account, they invited me there. By that time, I was in my 60s, so I was getting old. Yes. I wasn't very as active as I used to be. And I used to develop others. One of Erinsiba Ayoledoye, who is now the Vice-Chancellor of not Ajayi Crowther, Isara-Remo University of Education.
Okay.
Isara-Remo University of Education. He was extremely young, and he was a former student of mine. And I brought him in and took him to Honolulu, Hawaii. He became a star. They were calling him, Larry. Yes, now he's, like I told you, he's Vice-Chancellor of Isara-Remo University of Education. He also had an NC background, okay. But he's still young. He's still in his 60s. Yes. So, and I brought him in. And today, whenever they do things, I may not contribute to it. They will still send me money.
Sir, with your experience with the National Health
account, a national transfer account,
I believe that you know a lot about banking in Nigeria. What do you think is the problem with banking in Nigeria today? How can we?
In fact, we had MSc Banking and Finance in Ibadan. Okay. And I was director for 11 years. Many of the managing directors passed through me. Okay. Many of them at that time. Okay. And we in fact, Ibadan is very creative, particularly the Department of Economics. Yes. When we started the MBA, others were laughing at us that how can the Department of Economics be teaching MBA? But our MBAs were always there. We then started banking and finance again at the same time. Nobody dreamt about it. Like I told you, I was director for 11 years. And top bankers came through us. And it was good. The time Ibadan dreamt about it, the banking boom had not come. Immediately we started, the banking boom came. And there were many people to work as managers and top executives. There are many of the presidents of the what do you call it?
Is it Institute of Bankers?
Institute of Bankers, Nigerian Institute of Bankers. Institute of Bankers of Nigeria. Yes. So were my students. And I was very young. They were much older than me. And because I had a certain background, my teaching was always different. Okay. I was always able to explain things to them. Yes. And in fact, I was a loved teacher in the university because each time I teach mathematics and economics. Yes. Well, the first time I get to the class, I would tell my students, how many of you like mathematics here? There will be a few. Okay. How many of you don't like mathematics? There will be, let me know, there will be a lot of them. And I will tell them, you are in the right place. The man teaching you today, used to score as low as 20% and 20% in mathematics, and it was true. It was in college, but what I did, that same person eventually had first class honors degree in mathematics from this university. So what I did, collect short-term funds and lend long-term, because when the people need their money, you must give it to them. Otherwise, there will be no trust. The banking will collapse. So it's development finance that lend long-term, and they collect their resources long-term, and they return it, they lend long-term. That's why it is government that float development finance institutions. That's why we have it in West Africa, you have it in the country. It is government that does that. So,
and then another problem with banking in Nigeria is like
to make money.
Yes.
You have to make. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. They have to make. If people can deposit long term, there are very few long term deposits, and they cannot. People are not very particularly rich here. So very rich people are the ones that deposit long term. Only politicians steal our money. They cannot deposit.
Actually promised that he was going to double the economy and grow the economy to $1 trillion economy from $500 million economy. How do you think, is this possible? How can this be achieved?
There are so many things. It is possible, but it's difficult. It is possible, but it's difficult. Don't forget what he's doing. All those areas where we are wasting money and people are stealing, that he is trying to plug. You know, there are people who is denying areas where they can make easy money. They will be against him, and they will fight tooth and nail, and they are doing it. It is kind of difficult. All those things he is stopping. There are leakages. People don't want to suffer. You know, it's been difficult for him too. If you look at the way the election went, he lost in Katsina, where his friend, General Buhari.
Okay, yeah.
That is his state. He lost to Atiku there.
Yeah.
He lost to Atiku. In moving forward, and particularly the area of finance, in the area of provision of, in moving forward, and particularly the area of finance, in the area of provision of because of corn. Manufacturing, we need the manufacturing sector to be strong. We are not particularly strong. Service sectors that is increasing. Look, and where we are having difficulties now is the mining sector. We don't add value. We just sell it like that. We need to be adding value. We need to be producing. We need to be manufacturing. That's very important. So, mining, ìyẹn ló dá wàhálà pọ̀ lẹ̀ tí wọ́n tó ń ṣe tí but what we mine, what do we just sell it like we don't add value. We just need to add value. And manufacturing needs to be strong. And with manufacturing to be strong, electricity must be good. That's an area where we are weak, extremely weak. And you know, corruption has eaten deep into the fabric. Those who are making money from the corrupt practices, they don't want to lose what they are doing, and they are fighting tooth and nail all these things, gbogbo àwọn tó ń jà káàkiri, is a matter of not losing what they know. Mining is enough. Not contaking. We don't add value. At the Mantabe, lithium, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Gbogbo àwọn olùkọ́.
Youths in Shara and youth generally. The advice for Nigeria.
Life is not easy. You have to build yourself, not be Yahoo. Get yourself educated, get yourself deep, acquire skills that you can sell, and work hard. Be forthcoming in many things. Get developed. Yahoo doesn't pay. Work hard. Acquire deep skills, particularly in the new areas of acquisition.
Like technology.
Yes. In technology particularly, information technology particularly. And get up there and continue to develop and discover and invest. Life is not easy. And what you work for, don't undercut, don't cheat. There's too much cheating. Many things they do know how to transfer people's money without working for it, cheating people, that you say, and get developed, acquire skills, particularly new skills in the new areas they are having. Artificial intelligence, the automatic way, so you need the skills.
It's been nice speaking with you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm very, very grateful for your time.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you.
Yes, and